Come on, kick, fool. Ooh.
Welcome to Unboxed Daily. I'm Jason. That's Anton.
Hey, guys.
And at the moment, we're checking out the new Nintendo Switch Online system, which if you haven't seen yet, it is, I think, interesting and certainly worth talking about, which is what we're doing here today.
Well, you're talking about it right now.
Right. Anton's playing pro wrestling, but we'll give him a second.
I lost. Okay, we can go.
All right. Well, we've been recording, so. So this
have we?
We have. I turned it on.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. This is the whole thing. You're going to get to...
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
More games, more features, more fun. Nintendo Switch Online.
So there's sort of like three parts to the online service itself, right? There's multiplayer, so you're going to have access to certain games that are going to let you play with friends via the service. You have online cloud backup, and then you have these NES games which are coming out. The thing I think that's most interesting is actually how many of these games are the same as what I have on my NES Classic. I don't know that that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I feel like I don't want to pay for the same games twice.
Well, for me, I purposely did not go with the NES Classic because I was hoping that something like this would be available on Switch. So for someone like me, who is still a fairly new Switch owner, this is great.
So if we look at the launch titles at least, I mean, there's a couple of notable titles here that are certainly worth checking out. There's Mario Bros. 1 and Mario Bros. 3, both of which are classics. There's Legend of Zelda, Ghosts and Goblins, right? There's a couple of good ones in here that we like. And then I look at like pro wrestling, which I think you like, but I don't think I ever played. Baseball. I mean, some of these are one-trick ponies, you have to admit.
Absolutely. I've always been a big sports gaming fan, so even the probably not great soccer I would play.
And it's not like these games aren't fun. I mean, like I could probably find even the original Mario Brothers, the little platformer where they're, sort of trying to knock each other out with the original POW thing. Like that could be fun, right? The original Double Dragon could be fun, but I don't know that I want to pay $4 a month to keep playing these games. Now, the other games that they're going to add over time, that could make this more compelling. Is there anything that's coming up that you're particularly excited about?
Well, I do remember spending a ton of time with Ninja Gaiden, however that is pronounced. So that was fun. Metroid, always good.
It's a classic. But Metroid on the NES or Metroid on the SNES? See, that's the big debate.
NES, dude.
Really?
NES. Yeah,
SNES,
I actually never owned a SNES.
Do you want to borrow my SNES Classic?
The one back there?
No, that's a real NES or SNES.
Oh no!
No, I have an SNES Classic. I have so many of these systems. They're literally now they're just wall hanging.
What I'm assuming will happen is that SNES games will eventually go onto this thing too, right?
Probably. The other part of this, though, is the online collaborative play, right? So for games like Splatoon 2, for example, you have the ability to not only play online with other players that you know, but to speak to them directly through the iOS or Android app. I gotta say, I mean, that part I kind of like. I'm a little annoyed that it has to require a separate app. Why couldn't this have been built into the Switch, I guess would be my first question. Would you use that? I mean, I don't know that I want to smack talk when I'm in the middle of a game of Splatoon 2, really.
I mean, the only time I would probably want to smack talk is Mario Kart or something.
Sure. All right. Mario Kart is the one exception where I want to smack talk while I'm playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I hit you with that blue shell and I retake victory, that's important to me.
Well,
I want you to know that. I want you to feel how badly I felt.
And, as a dad, you got to be careful about smack talk. We want to be respectful. We don't want to set any bad examples by dropping F-bombs the way that we used to do.
I know, but I've known you for a long time, and I know that you enjoy a good F-bomb in the middle of Mario Kart.
Haha, mother.
And your daughter goes, Daddy, you can't say that. All right, so brass tacks, is getting the Nintendo Switch Online service worthwhile? What do you think?
Yes. I'm going to sign up right after I edit this video.
Okay.
I know a lot of friends who have actually essentially downsized in their gaming as they've gotten older, have started to have kids. They can only really play one thing, and they've decided to go with the Switch. So for $4 a month, you can play online. You get this pretty cool list of just retro games. It definitely plugs into the nostalgia element. Yeah, you're probably not going to be playing pro wrestling or Tecmo Bowl for 20 hours in that month, right?
Yeah.
So you might, while you're waiting for your kid to finish napping, or if you're on the train or whatever, you might want to just dip in and,
So as
mash
a
a
service,
few buttons,
So as a service for moms and dads, that's what makes this worthwhile.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't have kids. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Not even married yet. So I'm taken. Don't anybody get any ideas. I'm a tentative yes. I think that for the online backups, and I think for the NES games, it's certainly worth it. I want to see what additional games come out in 2019, particularly if we get things beyond the NES Classic. I wish the initial game offering was a little more compelling, because it's the same games we've seen over and over again, and that's the thing that really holds me back.
Yeah, but for someone like me, I've got a kid, and it would be nice to introduce her to the kind of stuff that, Daddy used to play.
Sure.
Way back in the day.
Right.
Should probably be way
back
in the day. Yeah.
Yeah. The other thing is that you can pre-order these Joy-Cons that look like old school Nintendo controllers.
The first thing I thought of when I saw these NES controllers was I started feeling for that little callus that you get on your thumb.
Yeah.
So those weren't good days.
No. I mean, they are cool to look at. They're certainly aesthetically exactly what you'd expect. I don't know that I'd shell out $60 for them. I think if they were priced at $30, I'd sign up immediately.
You get two? It looks like you get two.
You do. But even still, that's $30 a controller.
No, that's true.
And if you're going to do that, you want something that is useful for more than just your Joy-Cons, right? Like, it would be nice if I wanted to hook it up to my NES Classic, that I had a way of doing that. It doesn't look like there is one.
No.
So I'd rather go for versatility versus something that is old school just for the Switch. So pass.
Hard pass.
Hard pass. All right, so then it sounds like we're roughly in agreement. Yes to the online service, perhaps tentatively on my side, but overall yes. Hard pass, super hard pass on the NES controllers for $60 that frankly probably will be available on eBay in half a year for 40, 45. Yeah.
Maybe it's a Black Friday deal. Maybe.
There you go.
Maybe.
Cool. Well, thanks guys for joining us as always. Tell us what you think in the comments below. In the meantime, we'll see you back here soon. I'm Jason. That's Anton. We'll see you here soon.